Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing my What Sold video, which will be for last week, Monday through Thursday, May 13th through the 16th, and I had good sales those 4 days. Selling a lot of bread and butter though right now, just kind of sending out as many offers as I possibly can, trying to get the old stuff moving, still doing my end and sell similars, still listing 20 a day, but I think I'm going to get ready to drop that down again a little bit more just so I can start banking some of my listings for our trip, and just staying active in and on eBay. Kind of slacked off on the cross listing. I'm not seeing any movement as far as more sales. It's still terrible. Again, I don't have any Mercari to share for that 4 days. I think I have one Poshmark, and then everything is, thank goodness, eBay. So that's where I'm standing. Having a lot of returns. Anybody else feeling that pain? I went and looked just now, and in the last 90 days, I've had 17 returns. 2 of them were my fault, but the rest of them have been changed my mind, didn't like, doesn't fit. Every single one of them. It's just like, I don't know. It's very, very frustrating. But it's part of the game, right? I offer free returns. So it's going, the benefits of having free returns far outweighs the convenience. Just because I do the free returns and I do the 1-day handling, I get 10% off my final value fees, which adds up. So having to pay return shipping on 17 items over the last 90 days, it's still worth it, but it's still frustrating. All right, before we get started on all of this, though, I want another topic. All right, let's talk neutral and negative feedbacks. I've gotten a rash of them here recently.
You shouldn't be such a terrible reseller.
I know. But y'all...
Wait, no, you can't just start, I know. Because they're right. Ridiculous feedback.
Yes.
Were any of them deserved?
You know what? Let me go look at my screen while we're doing this. Let's start with the negative. And I'm...
Wait, you haven't answered the question. Were any of them deserved?
No. I mean, every once in a while I deserve one that I get, but the one that I truly think I deserved just fell off recently. So it had been a year.
I just want to point out that you're lucky I can't leave negative feedback on eBay for how you treat me.
Stop. All right, so my most current negative, which it's going to go away, was this bear was delivered without eyes. Without eyes, y'all. No way to contact seller. Very disappointed. I want to return it for another with eyes. This is a terrible experience. Y'all, it had embroidered eyes. Didn't have plastic eyes. I encouraged her to open up a return, which she has. And
if she knows anything about eBay, there's obviously a way to contact the seller of the item that you bought.
Well, and she actually had sent me a message with the same thing. I'm very disappointed, in capital letters, that this bear has no eyes.
But I'm confused at this point because she also used, the feedback said no way to contact the seller.
Exactly, but she had. And then I had told her to open up a return. So when she opened up the return, she says, beautiful, adorable bear. Sorry, I just didn't want embroidered eyes. So that's the kind of stuff I'm dealing with as far as...
Why do you say it's going to go away, though?
It's going to go away because I had a long conversation with eBay Concierge the other day. And if you offer free returns, and you get a return opened on your item, which is why I encourage people to encourage your buyers to open returns.
Does it have to be free returns?
Yes, you have to offer free returns in order for this to happen. And And I mean, you could probably still call eBay and see if they'll do something about it. But this way, it's automatic. When a buyer opens up the return, after you give them their refund and the return closes, that feedback automatically is removed. And that's what happened with my Bosch mixer. It actually, I was confused for a minute why it just disappeared, but that's why. And it doesn't have to just be negative. It can be neutral also.
Because the Bosch mixer was a neutral.
Right. The Bosch mixer was a neutral. So he also said that you can respond in the meantime to your feedback while you're waiting for the return process to go. Because I don't want people thinking that I sell stuff with missing eyeballs. I don't. And if there is an issue with something, you know, I make sure I put that in the description and show it in the photos. They were embroidered eyes. So I have responded to it while I'm waiting because, you know, there might be somebody, y'all, I have, 28,000 feedback and only this one negative. Most people are going to take feedback for what it is. And at this point, because eBay is saying there's many feedbacks they're not going to take away. It's not just automatic for some things that they're going to remove. So, you know, so what is feedback anymore?
If they're going to allow inappropriate feedback to stick, then feedback is going to become irrelevant on eBay because, at least as far as sellers are concerned, because it doesn't mean anything. And buyers are probably going to eventually learn that too, that feedback on eBay means nothing.
Right.
Because it doesn't get removed.
Another topic that he and I talked about was responding to your feedback. There's lots of posts out there that says if you respond to your negative or neutral feedback, then eBay won't remove it. Yes, they will. I had responded to the neutral that I had received and it still went away. And he encouraged me to because, you know, I don't want people to go look at my feedback and see that I sold a bear that had no eyes. That's kind of defamatory. So I have responded to it and he said that's just how you do it. We respond to it and it will still go away.
One thing to think about with feedback is when I go buy something on eBay, usually it's a Christmas gift or something like that. RJ wants some specific thing and it's no longer sold on Amazon or whatever. Or a curriculum. I always look at the seller's feedback. And it's almost always good enough. If you're above 95% or whatever, you're probably doing a pretty decent job. But if I looked at somebody's feedback and they had a negative, I'm not going to order from them. I'm going to look at what's their total feedback. They have 3 negatives out of 4 feedback. This might be a problem. They have 3 negatives and they've got 40,000 feedback. I'm probably not going to worry about those 3 negatives.
No.
Because they're irrelevant in the grand scheme of thing. Because even us, as we're very diligent at what we do, but sometimes we deserve a negative feedback because we make a mistake.
Yep.
That just happens.
Yep. Okay, now let's take this to a different topic, kind of, sort of. My neutral feedbacks right now. One of them says I gave it away. It was some kind of tester. The second one says quit working after a week, but it's whatevs. Y'all, I think that when people do this, when buyers do this, those types of feedback, they are wanting sellers to react. They're wanting you to reach out to them and say, I'm really sorry. I'll give you a full refund if you will take that feedback away. Don't. That's what they're doing. This is the new shakedown, I think, personally. It's a shakedown. I respond to the one about it quit working. It was a plush with an internal battery. She didn't contact me. It was working when she received it. I can't help if she's clicked it 500 times in a week and it died. But I'm not going to even offer a refund on that type of stuff because that's what they're wanting. They know they can remove that feedback if you will do a refund to them. So at this point, I've got 5 neutrals for the whole year. 3 of them have been recent. 3. Because, I'm not going to give them refunds. I'm just going to respond to the neutral and keep on going. I'm going to reach out to them and say I offer free returns, but they got to return the item to me. I'm not just going to say, oh, I'll give you a refund if you'll take the feedback away. I'm just, you know, it's either they return it or, you know, I'm just going to let the feedback sit. It's just, no, don't play that game, because I think many unscrupulous buyers are figuring this out, that if they go ahead and just leave it, that you're going to reach out to them and offer a full refund.
Or at least a partial.
Or a partial. And I'm not going to do that. They can return it.
Because on the one where they said it didn't work and they gave it away, what reasonable person would do that? You contact the seller and get a refund. You
return it for a refund.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You contact the seller, you return it for a refund, and get your money back. I just bought something on Amazon for one of the radios we have here that I was going to resell. I needed the wiring harness to test the radio. Ordered one that supposedly fit. It didn't fit. I didn't just give it away.
Or throw it away.
I opened a return with Amazon and sent it back for a full refund.
Yeah. So just don't fall prey to this. I know it can bother you to get neutrals and negatives that you don't deserve, but don't just give in. Don't just offer refunds without a return. It's going to go away because I got her to open up a return. So, you know, that's just remember that. Remember that.
But if she hadn't opened up the return, just let it be.
Now, I would have still called eBay.
Well, you would have still called eBay. And on that one, you might have gotten it back by showing, look, the image shows it actually has eyes. And that one is something that you could have shown by the pictures that they were wrong. But if it's something that they said it doesn't work, it's kind of hard to prove that to eBay. Right. So it's probably just going to have the defect or the negative feedback.
You get to be perturbed about it for a year, but it goes away after a year. So let's get to it. For some reason, my little nifty red writing tool is not working. So you're going to see me have to do a couple of extra clicks. I'm not quite sure why it's doing this, but y'all, I had already done all of this work and I don't want to reboot the computer. So we're just going to deal with it. But yeah, you're going to hear some extra clicks. All right, my one and only sell on Poshmark were these lifted research group men's cutoff jean shorts, sold for $15. And eBay. If you're new to my channel, I don't do free shipping on any of my platforms, but specifically eBay. So when I say something sold for $17.95, the buyer paid shipping also. Right, first thing that sold is this smile face. I'm not using the word smiley because there was some concern that that's now become a Vero. So I just use the word smile. Smile face bean plush from Shanghai LC Toys. I picked up 2 of these. The first one is already sold, $17.95. And here's where I'm showing something ain't right. Right there, see, I got to click. These Koi Sanita patent leather clogs. Been listed since last summer, so I got a $30 offer and I decided to accept it. Baby Gans Gumdrop Pup Dog Plush, sold for $17.95. I like picking up the Baby Gans. Soft Surroundings Women's Top. Listed this in April and it's already sold $16.82. I like to pick up soft surroundings, but a lot of it is bread and butter. DreamWorks Spirit Untamed Prue doll. This was in one of my Barbie totes that I went through and forced myself to get all of it listed. Thank goodness for Google Lens because I didn't know who she was. And she sold for, wait, $6.50, but she's gone. All right, Star Wars Vintage Jabba the Hutt stand. Y'all, this one was a surprise because it too was in my profit piles. Who knows how long I had it. And this is just the armrest to one of the Jabba the Hutt play sets by Kenner, and it sold very, very quickly for $43. Gap men's pants relaxed sold for $12. Make it gone. Again, weird stuff happening here. All right, this was in a bag of dog clothes that I picked up at Peaches to Beaches. It was supposed to all be American Girl. It ended up just being a couple of pieces were American Girl. These sandals were in there. They were for Julie, and they sold very quickly for $13.75. I paid $5 for the whole bag. There was a bunch of Our Generation outfits in there that I think I lotted up, and then there was one American Girl outfit, which I listed separately. But still, I've already made my money back. American Eagle women's cutoff jean shorts. Y'all, it doesn't matter what they, for some reason, what a lot of these jeans look like. They're still going to eventually sell. I mean, I literally just listed these in May, and they've already sold $13.21. Diddle Dog. I don't even want to try to pronounce that. It is from Thomas Goletz, a German brand. I think these were a Ben's pickup, and they sold for $30. I had them listed since February of last year, so $30 for a plush. I'll go with it. IKEA Pink Pig plush. Listed this in December, and it sold for $8.96. I tend to pick up almost all IKEA plush. Littlest Pet Shop Beethoven's second swimming pool. Just a little play set. There would have been little Beethoven vintage dogs that went with it, and it was from 1994. Sold for $8.05. All right, White Rabbit plush with a pink bonnet. The brand was called Pacific Rim, and I see a lot of Pacific Rim like Halloween type stuff, but I'm assuming this is the same brand. This sold for $8.05. Love the vintage stuff. I just listed this. Oops, right here. Don't know what's wrong. Applause Fuzzles, the cat plush, sold for $16, I think within the week that I listed it. Fagor Rapida. This was one of those small appliance type stuff that was sitting upstairs needing to be cleaned. I've been working my way through that stuff also. This 4-liter pressure cooker sold for $29. South Pole boys skater jeans, size 12, sold for $22.06. Some South Pole is definitely worth picking up. These took forever to sell. I will definitely be a little bit more particular when I find South Pole stuff. Russ Madison Bear plush. Again, I'm not going to be picking up very many plush, but I do bear plush. But I do like Russ, Dakin, and Applause. So they may be exceptions to my new Just Say No to Bears. This one got listed back in September, so it took a little while to sell, and I took a best offer of $9. Look how cute it is, though. Disney Tangled Rapunzel doll. She was in the Barbie lot that I went through. She had messy hair, really long, messy hair. But this must have, it sold at full asking price, so it must have been after I'd done a delete and sell similar, and my sale hadn't started yet. Y'all, I do this every single day. 300, well, probably 400 to 500 every single day. It just takes a few minutes, and I'm a firm believer that it makes all the difference in keeping my stuff fresh in the algorithm. Russ Yummy Lovey's Owl Bird plush sold for $15.25. Just a little 5-inch plush. I like the Russ Loveys. L-U-V-V-I-E-S. This was from that box of My Little Pony stuff that I did a video on how to use Google Lens to figure it all out. I just kind of thought I'll keep the 3 little playpens together, throw in some other baby stuff that kind of had matching colors. When I was looking these up, you know, I could find the playpens with like a toy, a diaper. So I just kind of used what I had there. and it sold for $49.95. And just a reminder, I paid about $25 for the whole box. Lego Toy Story Jessie figure. She was missing her hand, so it took a long time to sell her, but she still sold for $9.86. All right, Ann Taylor Petite Maxi Sleeveless Dress sold for $15.94. This is a viewer sale. I think the next two are, so thank you so much, Sherry. Sherry picked up this Lilo and Stitch dressed as a rabbit plush for $8.96, and the Winnie the Pooh swaddle blanket replacement that sold for $11.66. So thanks again, Sherry. All right. Riders by Lee women's khaki pants sold for $10. Y'all, we can pick up Riders, Wranglers, Aeropostale, Old Navy all day long around here for, you know, $1 or less a lot of times. Fill a bags, and I'm good with making $10, $12, $15 for them. They're so easy to pack. I finally got the box of vintage license plates listed. We picked these up at the Highway 127 sale 2 years ago because we didn't go last year. And I listed like a dozen of them. I had a couple of them still that hadn't sold. I think I had listed maybe 2 dozen, 2.5 dozen more of these plates, and I've sold several already. The rule in Tennessee is the plates need to be at least 3 years old, but we just had a brand new license plate issued in our state. So, you know, if it's not a current license plate, I think it's okay to list. All of these, though, ended up being vintage. This was one from Roane County, 1997, sold for my full asking price, $9.95. I think we paid $10 or $20 for a tote of them. She-Ra pink Starburst sword, Princess of Power. This was in the Barbie tote that I went through and spent a lot of time getting it all separated out and Google Lensed. And it sold in like 2 months for $21, just for an itty bitty teeny tiny sword. Russ Prudence Tabby Cat plush sold for $17.95. Cats and dogs. All right, this is Cloud Island. It was a pink rabbit lovey. This mama sent me a message saying that it's a beloved lovey, and anytime she finds it on eBay, she tries to pick it up because she's always needing replacements. Because she sent me a picture of her child, and the current one was looking quite ragged. But she sent me a $25 offer, so I went ahead and accepted it. This, y'all, every video I think I'm showing that I'm still selling these. I keep sending out 25% offers, but sometimes it sells at the regular price, and then sometimes it sells for 20 or 25% off, whatever I'm sending out at the current time. So another one of these Buffalo China coffee cup and saucers sold $7.39. Still going through some boxes that RJ's grandmother sent of just a lot of photography type stuff. These were vintage Sylvania blue dot flash bulbs, and they sold very quickly for $22.45. I've got several more boxes to go through. This is by Best Made Toys. I like that brand. Good quality, cute stuff. This was a white mouse with heart ears, and it sold for $11.66. This is one of those just say no's to Melissa, who came down to visit and went doing yard sales with me this past weekend. She brought it up, and I had just sold this one. But yeah, they used to sell, you know, bread and butter for me, but they have just really stopped moving, so I'm not going to pick them up anymore unless for some reason it's special. I'm never going to say never, But definitely Google Lens and check them on eBay before you pick them up. They're called Zoo Friends Cabbage Patch Kids. More contemporary. This one was 2018, and I took an offer of $5.44. Twinkin' White Bear Plush. This is from Barney, 1997. The brand is Golden Bear. That's why that's there. And I picked it up at our local Habitat for Humanity resale store. Probably paid $1 or $2 for it, and it sold for, gotta click this button, $25. This was, I think, in my bins bags. It wasn't listed very long. I just listed it in May. But it was one of those things. I put a big price on it because I don't think there were any others listed. But when I got an $18 offer, I went ahead and accepted it. It is a Heathcliff cat pillow plush, 20 inches. It had some condition issues. I wrote on there, does seem dingy and discolored. I had washed it, but still, it was showing its age. So $18 for a vintage plush. Couldn't pass it up. Disney Monsters Inc. Randall Boggs figure sold for $8.95. Pillsbury Doughboy keychain figure. It was still sealed from 2014. Again, I still list this stuff as used. I just think you have less opportunities to get Veros sent on you or cease and desist letters when you are listing your stuff as used. Just my personal preference. Still sold $12.96. I went to a kids consignment sale in North Carolina, bought a huge bag of Barbie stuff for $8. $8 for a huge one of those quilt comforter size bags. Almost all of it went to a vintage Barbie tropical pool set. There were sold comps like 120, 130, 150, something like that for an almost complete set. I think mine may have been complete. I never did double check because I had decided already. Too many big pieces, and I just wanted to sell the pieces and parts. Google Lens was definitely my friend that day. And just these patio clips have already sold for $15. I've sold other pieces already also. Lamb sheep plush had a little copper bell on it. Been listed for over a year and, oops, let me click, sold for a best offer of $12. Don't know why it's doing this, y'all. Chickpea boxer plush. It was supposed to come with a blanket, so kind of had that corduroy ribbed texture to it. And again, did end and sell similar, and it sold for its full asking price, $14.95. It had been listed in March. Ideal Rub-a-Dub doll. Now, I picked one up at an estate sale with its boat. I'm not quite sure if this was the one, because I know I had two of these. I may have sold the other one already also, but this one had its swimsuit on, and it sold for $20.66. Snap Toys, pink pig plush. I pick up a lot of pigs. They tend to do okay for me. And this one also sold after doing end and sell similar for full price of $9.95. Vintage patterns, especially for kids' clothes. That's the only experience I have right now because I bought a huge bag for $5 at a churchyard sale and listed some, the older ones, sold a few, and then I just finished going through the whole bag and getting all of it processed because that's what I'm doing this first part of the year, is just getting rid of the profit piles, making myself process everything in a bag or everything in a tote all at once. No setting it aside. And this was the artist, I guess, Sherry Williams. It was this, said basic square yoke, $8.96, and it sold pretty quickly. Gloria Duchenne pewter Christmas ornaments, sold for a best offer of $12. Flying Tomato women's floral jumpsuit. I think this was in that stuff, the large clothes lot that I picked up last year, that I shared with you guys. It sold for $19.05. I picked this up at the Peaches to Beaches also. I thought it was American Girl, but it ended up being Welly Wishers, which tends not to do as well as some of the American Girl stuff. They're smaller version dolls. I had paid $10 for this. Went ahead and took the $25 offer just because, you know, it wasn't worth dickering over an extra $6. Make it gone, make it gone very quickly. Get my money back, because, you know, it could have taken a while to sell. So just, I took the $25 offer. EV1, don't even know what that is. Alex Relax vintage women's shorts, sold for the button $13. They had been listed since last year. Felt stocking kits. I remember picking this up at a church sale. I think it was make donation type thing. It's been listed for quite a while, and I took a best offer of $17. Mioni by Aurora. This was a Tots Husky Wolf Dog plush, sold for $8.96. Chalkware wall hanging. Again, all of that chalkware I listed, slowly but surely moving right along. This is a round fruit wall hanging, and it sold for $22.45. Fisher Price Imaginext Yellow Submarine sold for $15.25. We have this area back here behind where we work that Robert ends up throwing everything that we've done on videos for, and then I go back there and I get that stuff and I go process it. But I had some totes pushed under some shelving back there, and this was in there. I had a whole box of just toys that for some reason I had set aside, and there's actually several boxes back there. There was some vintage Christmas stuff. All the places I have pushed stuff just to make room for more stuff. It's got to end. Got to end. But working my way through it, right? All right, Gund Curious George plush sold for $15.25. And last thing, y'all, it was a whole lot of just $15, $20 sales. No big grand thing to share with you guys. So the last one was this Cuddle Barn Lil Bub cat plush. It was a like YouTube or TikTok sensation. So there was a whole bunch. I've picked up several of the plush of this cat. This one was from 2014. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this. Just moving right along, right? It all adds up, whether it's $8, $15, $4. I'm content to just keep processing whatever I have here because I've already spent the money. So let's get it listed, make it gone. You know, my mantra, if it's not listed, it can't sell. All right, y'all, get to work.